On the surface, the Swan Boats seem like a simple, charming ride. But as with anything Disney, the more I dug into their story, the more incredible connections I would uncover. This isn't just the story of one attraction, it's the story that stretches across parks, continents, and even decades. Brickey here, let's dive into the surprising journey of the Swan Boats and the legacy they left behind. Friends, make sure to hit subscribe right now if you enjoy the design and history of Disney theme parks. Over here, we study the heart, the art of what makes them so special. Let's jump in. Every Disney fan has that one dream attraction, the one that feels like it could bring a little more magic to the parks. And for me, that dream has always been a hub attraction, something that ties the heart of the park together. And when I discovered the Swan Boats at Magic Kingdom, I knew I had found my dream attraction. Sadly, Disneyland's hub is too small for an attraction. However, the story of the Swan Boats begins with the very design of Magic Kingdom, when they knew with extra space they could resolve the restrictions of Disneyland. When the park opened October 1st, 1971, its hub was envisioned as both a gathering place and a central pathway to all the park's lands. The moat encircling Cinderella Castle was designed to be more than just a decorative waterway. It was built large enough to circle the central plaza entirely, creating the possibility of one day hosting an attraction. As early as 1970, concept art showed Jungle Cruise-style boats navigating the moat, passing by Tomorrowland's entrance bridge. However, this concept wasn't ready for the park's grand opening. It wasn't until May 20th, 1973, that the Plaza Swan Boats were officially introduced. The Swan Boats were championed by Card Walker, then president of Walt Disney Productions. As a quick-fix attraction to address congestion in the hub, the fleet of 12 swan-shaped vessels started off near Tomorrowland, floated under Main Street USA as it worked its way to Adventureland and eventually over to the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse, where then it would return back towards the hub, float past Cinderella Castle, past Tomorrowland, and then let its passengers off to pick up a new crew. The ride was seasonal, operating mainly during the summer months, but it quickly became a visual icon. Images of the Swan Boats appeared on postcards, guidebooks, and even the cover of the Summer-Fall 1974 Magic Kingdom guidebook. Despite its visual appeal, the attraction faced significant challenges right from the start. To fully understand the Swan Boats, we need to go back to Disneyland in the 1960s. Famed Imagineer Marc Davis, known for his storytelling prowess and attractions like the Jungle Cruise and Pirates of the Caribbean, dreamed up a reimagining of the motorboat cruise in Fantasyland. This project, tentatively titled Garden of the Gods, aimed to transform the waterway into a garden-themed spectacle. The concept featured intricate topiary designs and character-shaped water sculptures, with music and scenes inspired by Disney's Fantasia. According to Imagineer John Hinch, Davis envisioned these sculptures as figures carved out of water, brought to life with dazzling fountains. However, the project faced insurmountable challenges, including the disruptive noise from the nearby Autopia automobiles, and the technical difficulty of creating the water sculptures. Ultimately, Garden of the Gods was shelved, but the idea wasn't forgotten. When the Plaza Swan Boats launched, they were Disney's attempt to bring elegance and tranquility to the Magic Kingdom's hub. The boats were Orlando's answer to Disneyland's storybook land canal boats, except without the story. Instead, guests were treated to the general sights of the park: Cinderella Castle, Swiss Family Treehouse, and the serene waterways. Each boat was powered by natural gas engines and originally designed to run on an electric guidance system. However, the system failed early in the attraction's life and was replaced by a more manual approach. Skippers used 2 water jets, one in the front, one in the back, that could swivel 360 degrees, allowing the boats to move in any direction. While this design gave skippers significant control, it also led to frequent collisions with canal walls and even other boats. The boats were named after Disney heroines like Tiger Lily, Tinker Bell, Flora, Fauna, and Merryweather. Each could hold up to 26 guests for a 17-minute journey. Female skippers, dressed in crisp white sailor uniforms with blue collars and red neckerchiefs, exclusively operated the boats in the early years. Later, male skippers joined the team, wearing red sweater vests and blue pants. The dock near Tomorrowland's entrance became a key part of the tranquil attraction, though it was eventually abandoned, much like Disneyland's motorboat cruise dock still stands today, and ironically, an attraction that partially inspired this one. Despite their charm, the Swan Boats struggled to find their footing. Maintenance costs for the natural gas engines and steering mechanisms were high, and the fleet was gradually reduced from 12 boats to just 5. Obviously, this cut the ride's capacity to about 600 guests per hour, resulting in long wait times of up to an hour. Management tried to claim that the attraction wasn't popular, but that wait time would tell me otherwise. By August 1983, the Swan Boats were retired, citing inefficiency and high costs. After their closure, the south section of the hub's canal was filled in, and the docks were removed 30 years later in 2014 to expand standing room for the park's nighttime firework crowds. This park section is close to where the boats used to load in and load out, and guests used to be able to see water flow underneath this section of Main Street, USA. Today, the canal remains a peaceful relic of this early attraction and one of the more peaceful locations in the world's busiest theme park. Around the time of the Swan Boat's closure, Imagineer Claude Coates revisited the shelved Garden of the Gods concept. He proposed transforming the Swan Boats canal into a lush, Fantasia-themed attraction, complete with topiaries, fountains, and scenes from Fantasia. The ride was divided into 6 show scenes, including The Sorcerer's Apprentice, which featured broomsticks pouring water that stopped just as the boats would pass. To try to convince management this was a good idea, they even built a temporary version of it in a section of the canal, rode through on maintenance rafts, trying to convince the powers that be that this was a good idea. While the pitch did impress some executives, others raised concerns. Michael Eisner famously dismissed the idea, saying, "This is no good to me. I need something with high volume. When it rains, this ride shuts down and I can't use it. I need a bigger bang for my buck." Without a sponsor to fund the $20 million project, it was eventually shelved. But on a happy note, one Swan Boat was converted into a vacuum vehicle to keep the canal clean, while the rest disappeared. Disney's ideas never truly die. The Fantasia concept re-emerged in the 1990s as part of Beastly Kingdom, a mythical land planned for Disney's Animal Kingdom. The proposed boat ride would have floated past Greek temples, Mount Olympus, and a rainbow archway, blending Fantasia's whimsy with ancient mythology. However, when Beastly Kingdom was postponed indefinitely, this iteration of the Swan Boat's legacy was lost once again. Fast forward to 1996, the Fantasia Garden concept found a new home at Fantasia Gardens and Fairways Miniature Golf, near the Swan and Dolphin Hotel. While it wasn't a ride, the course captured Fantasia's magic with beautifully landscaped gardens and whimsical design. And then, a decade later, in 2016, Shanghai Disneyland introduced Voyage to the Crystal Grotto, a breathtaking boat ride that combined gardens, fountains, and Disney storytelling. A fitting tribute to the Swan Boats and their enduring influence, and once again proving, just like our small little YouTube channel's motto, when Imagineers are tasked to design into the future, they always start with studying the past. The Plaza Swan Boats may have been short-lived, but their story is anything but small. From their picturesque voyages to Magic Kingdom to their influence on attractions around the world, they remind us of Disney's relentless creativity. Even when an idea doesn't succeed, it often inspires something greater. So the next time you visit a Disney park, take a moment to look at the waterways. You might just see a ripple of their history.